Hey everybody, so you'll notice this is a new setup. I've recently moved, so for this new area I need a server. So this is a Supermicro server. I don't quite remember the model, it's somewhere over there. We're going to be taking a look at this thing and we'll see what it can do. Spoiler alert, I've already set some of this up before I moved, but we're going to be reconfiguring this to work a little bit better with what I need it to do. So let's dig in. So around back, you got your standard array of ports. There are two power supplies in this unit. They are hot swappable. They are 80 plus titanium. There's our power supply unit. These are 800 or 1,000 watts. No idea what that means. I'm going to just roll with it. These are 800 watt each. So hopefully we won't be using that much power. What's cool about this unit is it does have dual. I would get you down here and show you, but I'll just take them out. It's got dual 2.5-inch bays in the rear, which is where you can put your boot SSDs. We got some built-in networking. I believe this has 10 gig networking. Now I can't get this drive back in. Oh, give me a second to fiddle with that here in a little bit. Let's go ahead and pop the top off. This is our rear cover. Remove that. We'll see that I've got a GPU in there. And I've got, if you look down right over here, move the camera this way. I've got a little M.2 adapter board. Under here is our main cooler. This guy is appearing to be stuck now. Okay, got him back out. Let's say I don't have any extra of these caddies. I do have extra of the front caddy, so we'll get to in a little bit. So under here, I've already performed one modification to this server. I think I've got to remove this section. So this is what makes this chassis interesting, is what's under here. There are 4 internal hard drive slots, which I thought that was interesting. I only paid a couple $100 for this thing. You'll see my custom modifications to this is I 3D printed these brackets and put in these Noctua fans to make it a little quieter. Same with under here. Did a Noctua fan. This came with 196 gigs of RAM. Now the problem is this CPU gets a little too hot, so I'm going to get some new CPUs that are lower wattage. Plus these are kind of power hungry anyway. This thing's never going to go back in here, is it? Now, I always have problems with these CPU covers. There we go. Now you can see a hint right there. I'll take you off the tripod here in a second and show you the front and rear, but that's what truly makes this case special is the internal base. I think that's pretty sweet. So let's take a look at the front and back. On the rear of the server, at the top, we have our dual power supplies, our SSD base, serial management port, USB, and these are 10 gig ports, which is kind of interesting. I added this GPU in. Then we got these hard drives that came with it. I believe these are 8 terabytes a piece of SAS drives. That's pretty sweet. Go around the tripod here. And you'll notice my 3D printed fan adapters. And then here's our 12 hot swap hard drive base, which I've just got a couple 1 terabyte drives in for right now. Yeah, I do have the rail kit for it, so that's pretty sweet. So I'll go ahead and boot this up. We'll take you around on a tour of the software and see what it's up to. We're going to go ahead and leave the top off to boot it up for a second. Let me go ahead and grab us a power cable here. Go ahead and pop that in one of the power supplies. And I'll grab us a keyboard. Hit the power button. You'll see the thing roars to life. So we'll head over to the computer and I'll get into the remote management. We'll take a look around this thing. see what I've got planned for it. And then what's upcoming in a future video is I do have some data on here that I need to get off of here. And then I got some future plans for this thing that are coming up very shortly. I've also got some other videos in the works as well now that I have a space I can use to do this, which is really nice. So let's hop over to the computer and we'll go from there. All right, so here we are on the computer. This is our management controller interface. So this is where you make all the settings configurations. So currently the server is off. We'll go ahead and hit login. And then once we're here, you can see our system's IP address, all the information about the server. We'll go to hardware information. Just in case you're wondering, here's it's a E5-2690V4. All my DIMMs there, there's the power supplies. Don't know why it shows up to 4. I guess you could have that server health sensor readings. Obviously it's off, so we're not going to get any of those readings. There's also power consumption over here. Remote control, we can launch the HTML5 screen capture, which I will do here in a second. So yeah, it's a fairly basic thing, but I do like Supermicro's IPMI. I think it's pretty good. I'll switch you over to this browser window, and here you can see our. Resize it so it's not so blurry for you guys. Let's go. Try to get everything centered on the screen capture. I'll need a little area to put the keyboard. So you can see it gives you a built-in keyboard. That's pretty cool. I do have an actual keyboard hooked up that we'll be using. So let's go ahead and set to power on. And now you can hear in the background the server's running. It's going to be a little noisy in the microphone because it is literally right next to me. But it's not terribly loud. So here's the boot sequence for it. So we're going to want to go into the BIOS. So I'll start. You'll hear me mad press and delete over on the keyboard. I do have a video capture, which I can show here real quick. You'll see that in the bottom corner, those colorful rainbows. That'll be anytime HDMI is coming out of the graphics card. Currently, it's not set to boot with the GPU, so therefore we're going to get no output out of the card, obviously. Heard it do its beeping. Our window needs to be resized a little bit. And you can see entering setup. So we'll let it do its thing. Beeps again. The RAID utility is going. I believe I have TrueNAS on here, so it should not have any RAID arrays, which is fine. We'll let that go. Initializing devices. Come on. Servers do typically take a very long time to boot up. This is actually one of the quicker ones that I've had to boot up. I just heard the hard drive spin up. That's what we're waiting on. But this is one of the quicker ones. Usually they're pretty slow. HP has to be the king of the slowest boot up times. If you could hear that in the background, that's one of the hints of what we're going to be doing eventually. One of the hard drives is pretty clacky. I do just have an external hard drive I need to put my data on. There it is again. Yeah, not the best sound ever. So eventually we're going to have to update the hard drives. But for now, that's as good as it's going to get. There we go. Initializing devices. This thing will start beeping eventually because it runs pretty hot, like I said, with those fans in there, aftermarket. So I'll have to sort something out for that in the future, which I think is just going to be a lower wattage CPU, or pair of CPUs, sorry. And yeah, so other than that, everything else on this server is functional. I got it on Facebook Marketplace for $100, believe it or not. And yes, it came with all the drives and everything already in it. So here's our boot features. It is CSM. I do want to find the option for the graphics boot up. That way I can get it to output to the graphics card. I have no idea what that means. Um, yeah, here it is, VGA priority onboard, off. So this is going to prevent me from using this built-in thing. So I actually want to leave that on there. But yeah, there's your IPMI. It's working. You can update that from here. Security. Let's let this thing boot up to an OS, and we'll take a look around at what I'm using it for. Thank you, server. So we'll take a look at what it's being used for here in a minute. So I'll come back when it's booted up. All right, so here it is booting into TrueNAS, which is the operating system that I was using for now. I will go ahead and load in once we get to the TrueNAS login prompt. The reason I chose this is I was going to try to use it as kind of like a virtualization storage server, which is still the plan, but I want to change up the way I was doing it. Possibly change up the system I'm using, so this server might not be my primary server anymore, but it will definitely still be around. You'll be seeing it in some other videos, but I need to get it off the table so that way I can do some other videos I have planned that are a bit more fun. If you want to see more of the server, I guess leave a comment. I hope my uploads start to get more consistent. So I will see your comments quicker. I will try to respond, or try my best to respond at least. And then if you have any other improvement ideas for the video, let me know. It's all very helpful. Criticisms are wonderful because I can help fix things or put something on that you want to see. One of the ideas for a future video I had was to bid on laptops or a desktop or something that you guys want to see me repair, upgrade, or use for like an own laptop for a month or something. I think that would be a cool video idea. So just let me know. But I figured I'd throw that out there while this is booting up. So once this gets up here, we'll take a look at TrueNAS. I'll show you some of the things I was trying to do with it previously before we moved. And then I'll go over what I was thinking that we'll have to change now that I am moved in. And yeah, so go ahead and hop over to that. 1 second. So I believe this has 20 terabytes of storage in it, roughly. And then 3 terabytes in the front across three terabyte hard drives for VMs. So I never actually got to do anything with this. So if you have any ideas or suggestions of what I should do, I'm going to back up my information off of here. And then we can definitely have some fun with this thing. So like I said, any ideas, what you guys would like to see? I've got this thing sitting around. I've got a GPU in it. So I do have some other video ideas, so those might be on the table or come out first, but I'll definitely take your suggestions into account for what to do in the future. So anyway, thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked this video. It's just something quick I put together to test the new setup. So hopefully I'll be adjusting audio and things before the next video. And then I've got something planned which should come out next week. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.